every season, if I don't win a trophy, the video ends. And also, every season I have to go to a different club and they have to be worse than the one I went to before. So Tottenham, I'm saving you for very last. Starting things off nice and simple, however, as we are starting at Manchester City. I've also called my manager Carlo Ancelotti because he'll leave ya every season. So here is our starting Manchester City lineup. Obviously there is not too much we have to change. I've also got to fix up the formations and all that stuff, but there is not much for us to change if we want to compete for any trophy. Like, we are not exclusively tied to just the league title, to just the Premier League or the Bundesliga or whatever the league title is. We can also win a domestic cup, we can win a European cup, anything but a preseason friendly. First signing here at Manchester City is going to be for Andy Robertson, though. We've signed him from Liverpool for £96 million. You are absolutely kidding yourselves, Manchester United. Absolutely taking the piss. This just feels right. Sergio Aguero should never have left Manchester City, so we're going to bring him back now, saving him from Barcelona as we sign Sergio Aguero as our new/old starting striker. I'm also going to bring some of our top loaned out players back because why not? We may as well stack the decks. So we brought Pedro Porro back, and I'm also going to bring back Yangel Herrera. And as the best backup option for the cheapest price, Samir Handanovic is going to join us for £2.1 million. Just trying to absolutely stack the deck here so that we can challenge for some sort of silverware in season number 1. Not going to really build teams for the youth like I would have rebuild. Like, if this was a rebuild, I would have let those players stay out on loan. I wouldn't have brought back 2 players that are over the age of 30, but we want to get silverware here and now. If we don't, the video is over. So this is the Manchester City team that has to do it for us here in Season 1. Season 1, we have survived. We have won the Premier League title here with Manchester City. Only 2 points ahead of Liverpool. We're double safe in this season. We've won the Community Shield, quarterfinals in the FA Cup, however. And what is that? Quarterfinal, round of 32 in the Carabao Cup. Did Wolves do the double over us? We got our asses absolutely handed to us here in the Champions League final. Oh my god, 5-1 to Man City, or to Real Madrid I should say. But Riyad Mahrez absolutely carried for us. Alright, objective number 2, team number 2, we're headed to Scotland. We're going to be the new manager of Rangers. I'm glad I took over this season. That's not as straightforward as I thought. We absolutely, like, it's a 2-horse race obviously, but I'm glad we didn't include this season because Rangers have lost to Celtic. So here we go, lads. It is a fresh season at Rangers at the Ibrox. This is the starting lineup that we do have to work with. I'm not sure why the players are faded out like that. Ever since this new patch, they've been doing it, whether they're injured or out on international duty or suspended, they kind of faded out. It's an unnecessary change, but it's good to see EA is still trying to make some changes in career mode. But this is the team we have now. This is why I think they are a step down from Manchester City, but it's still a mild one. It is a 2-horse race between ourselves and Celtic, but there is fierce competition for the league title, and financially we do not have the same capabilities as Man City, quite obviously. So that's why I consider Rangers to be a step down in difficulty, or step up in difficulty, compared to Man City. We desperately needed a new goalkeeper as our first signing in charge of Rangers, and you guys know that I love to sign an Australian at every possible opportunity. So Matt Ryan, we've got him on an absolute bargain pickup from Real Sociedad, £9 million. Welcome to Rangers. I didn't sell any players from Manchester City last year because we really didn't need the money, but this year with Rangers, we really need the money compared to Manchester City. So we are going to sign Kemar Roof, or we're going to sell Kemar Roof to Lille for 3.6 mil. And I have decided to bring Connor Goldson back to the Ibrox. He was at Wolves in this save, but Connor Goldson deserves to be played here at Rangers. We're going to bring him back to the club for 11.8 mil. Meanwhile, Scott Wright is off to Mexico, and Brandon Barker is back in the Premier League. The former Manchester City player is off to Sheffield United. Another player off to Mexico, as John Lundstrom is off to Monterrey for 2.35 mil. What is it with rival clubs in this video and trying to sign our players? Man United tried to sign Sterling, and now Celtic are trying to sign Bacuna. But we're going to make another massive pickup in this Celtic side, really trying to revolutionize Rangers as we sign Rafinha from PSG for 14.9 mil. So after the transfer window, this is what our starting 11 is now looking like. Definitely much more balanced. It's going to be a 2-horse race. I say that, imagine if like Aberdeen or Hearts or somebody came out of nowhere and just absolutely won the league and made me look like an absolute fool and caused the video to end. But we're looking like it's going to be a 2-horse race between ourselves and Celtic. Although we are in the Champions League this season, it gives us a little opportunity and a little bit more opportunity to win some silverware, but really, we can't be resting on the Champions League. We need to be going hard at the Scottish League and the Scottish Cup. Here we are on the final day of the season, and we verse Celtic. It is an old firm derby, which will decide the title. Aberdeen, the closest team to us, they are what, 30 points, 33 points away from us, but we are 1 point behind Celtic. If they draw or win, they win the Scottish League title. We need to win. Although something that gives me a little bit more hope is the fact that we also have another old firm derby in the Scottish Cup final. So we essentially have to win one of our next 2 games against Celtic. We're going to go and watch the final day of the Premiership season, the Scottish Premiership season. It's an old firm derby between Rangers and Celtics at home here at the Ibrox. This scoreline is going to be a 2-1 win. We have won some silverware here at Rangers. The Scottish League title coming to the blue side of Glasgow on the final day of the season. So there we go, 2 points ahead of Celtic, and we are Scottish Premiership champions. We also managed to beat Celtic again in the Scottish Cup, so we've done the domestic double. Fair play to the lads. We got out of our group, which was a pretty tough group as well, and we were eliminated in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Hagi really stepping up here, carrying us, 20 goals, 9 assists there for the Romanian. But our next job is going to be at Ajax. Some of you guys might say that's not a step down at all, but my line of thinking is we're going from a league where it's a 2-horse race to another sort of obscure league, but there's definitely more competition ahead of us here. We've got PSV, we've got Feyenoord, we've got all these other teams. Let's go take over Ajax. This Ajax team is interesting. We've got a few quality players in this team, but it is so skewed. Like, Ajax have essentially said, we want every single player that plays right wing in the world on our side. They've got so many, you've got Neres, you've got Anthony, you've got Bergwijn. There's so many players. You've got, who's that bloody, I can't remember his name now, the guy that's from Southampton. Dusan Tadic as well. There's all these guys in the squad that play the same position. I don't know. I'm going to have to go through and really do some work here to make us title contenders. So a big player departure here. Barat Jimciti, the Albanian centre-half, is off to Sporting Club de Portugal. Lisandro Margolin is off to Norwich City. Zakaria Labyad, the Moroccan attacking midfielder, off to Union Berlin for just under 5 mil. And we have signed ourselves a new shot stopper, just like at Rangers. We knew that getting a good number 1 was priority number 1, ironically, not for the lack of the play on words, but we're going to sign Kepa Arrizabalaga, the Chelsea goalkeeper, the Spaniard, joining us here for just over £20 million under market value. You'll love to see it. And there he is, Dusan Tadic, the man that I thought played right wing, who's actually a left winger, is headed to West Ham United for 18.9 mil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convert Neres into a left winger. We're also going to sign Sergio Busquets on a free transfer here. He might go down in overall throughout the course of the season, but there is no denying having Sergio Busquets in the midfield is going to be a game changer. Bergwijn, the latest player out of the club as well, off to Leicester City. And another big addition to the midfield here, Rodrigo Bentancur, the Uruguayan centre midfielder, joining us here for £31.3 million from Juventus. That means I'm going to put Kudus at attacking midfielder and Bentancur going into centre mid. Our biggest signing, however, is going to be at the right back position. It is Danny Carvajal joining us here for £41.3 million from Manchester United. That is such a big pickup for this Ajax team. I mean, you look at this Ajax team now with players in the right position, with players getting converted for the most part. I mean, Martinez and Blind. We've got too many centre backs in the defense, but it is still such a quality team. Let's go and see if we can make it 3 seasons on the trot of success. Also, ironically, we have been drawn up against Rangers in the Champions League group stages. So let's hope the Rangers team we built isn't so good that it kicks us out of the Champions League. Once again, it is going to come down to the final day of the season for the title race. All we need is a win or a PSV loss, or a draw to be honest, to win the Eredivisie title. We are versing NEC, who are bottom of the table, surely. Here we go, lads, at the Amsterdam Arena, the Johan Cruyff Arena, the final day of the Eredivisie season for 3 titles in 3 seasons. We get it! 3-2, Wrench, the substitute right back, getting us the winner in the 88th minute. That is what you love to see, the Eredivisie Shield. And it is so lucky that we won Eredivisie because we were eliminated in the Dutch Domestic Cup in the semi-finals. And we were absolutely thumped in the Champions League quarterfinals. All right, we've been coasting along so far. Let's turn it up a notch. We're heading to my favorite club here in Australia, the Western Sydney Wanderers. I want to get the Wanderers our first ever toilet seat. Come on, lads. I'd be very interested to see how the rest of the A-League is looking at this stage to really see what we're stacked up against. But the Wanderers in the past few years, we have been absolutely dreadful. And it doesn't seem like we have added anybody on top of our current playing roster. In fact, I don't think there has been a single addition to this side. You've got players like Steven Ugarkovic and Johnny Kutrumbus on the bench there who have only just joined the club in real life. Dimi Petrados as well, Remy, all these guys, but I don't think the CPU has made any changes to this Wanderers team. But we're going to make a big change to kick things off up top. You know what? Tommy Juric, one of my all-time favorite players. I need to go get something. I have been looking for this jersey for so long, but we found it right now. It is my Tommy Juric Wanderers jersey that I'm currently wearing back to front. I've had this jersey since 2014. It has seen some things, it has seen some games, it has seen us win a Champions League, it has seen us just be terrible, and yeah, you can tell by the wear and tear. I need to turn this around though, this is so uncomfortable. Gonna make another striker addition to the side, Adam Taggart, another Australian player that has had such an up and down career. We're gonna bring him to the Western Sydney Wanderers, the former Fulham striker. Yeah, former Fulham striker. I remember I used to love Adam Taggart because he was an Australian playing for Fulham, but we've signed him for £1.2 million from Osaka in the Japanese league. There's been a real pattern at the Western Sydney Wanderers since Carl Robertson took over of British players and former mediocre, English players joining the squad. Connor Chaplin's going to continue that tradition here as we sign the Englishman from Ipswich Town for 2.4 mil. So this is what our Wanderers starting 11 is looking like here in our 4th season. Can we make it 4 from 4? And most importantly, can we get the Western Sydney Wanderers their first ever A-League toilet seat? Now, I need to clarify because the Wanderers have won the minor premiership. We've been the regular season champions, but for a league like the A-League, I'm not counting the minor premiership as the goal here. The goal to continue moving on is to either win the Asian Champions League, which we aren't qualified for, I don't believe, or to win the toilet seat. We have finished the regular season in 3rd position, that's just a miracle for the Wanderers as of late, but that means we have qualified for the elimination finals. We have qualified, and it is between ourselves, Melbourne Victory, Melbourne City, the Central Coast Mariners, MacArthur, and Sydney FC for the A-League title. And I thought this would be the case, but in the elimination finals, it is a Sydney derby between ourselves and Sydney FC. Also, I should mention the A-League starts in like a month or less than a month now. The first game of the season is a Sydney derby at Bankwest Stadium out at Parramatta. I will be at that game, so if you do go to that game and you see me, make sure you come say hello. Love meeting you guys at Wanderers fans, but we have a Sydney derby. If we lose, the season is over, and subsequently the video will be over, and I do not want Sydney FC, of all the clubs, to ruin this challenge for us. We're going to get into the game here. The elimination final, 3rd versus 6th at Bankwest Stadium, or CommBank Stadium, whatever it's called now. We're going to simulate with the Western Sydney Wanderers. The scoreline is a 3-0 demolition job. Come on, you Wanderers. I would love for that to happen in the real life game. So, in the semi-final, it is between Western Sydney versus the current A-League premiers in Melbourne City to face the Mariners in the A-League final. I'm kind of hoping that we get there for the pure. Obviously, I want to get there to win the title, but it would be a nice little roundabout because in our first ever season 10 years ago, we lost the A-League final to the Central Coast Mariners. This could be a nice bit of history. Traveling down to Amy Park here though, fellas, for the A-League semi-finals for a spot in the A-League Grand Final. This scoreline is a 2-1 win. Mark Natta is going to send us to the A-League Final. Dimi Petrailos, Mark Natta on the scorer sheet. We're versing the Mariners in the final, and the video is still alive. Like I was trying to say before when I stopped realizing how to talk, but in the Wanderers' first ever season, we versed the Mariners at the SFS. I was at that game. I was super upset when the Mariners beat us, but this could be full circle. In our 10th season, can we take down the Mariners and win an A-League title? Here we go, lads. The A-League final is going to be at Parramatta Stadium at home. If this were a real-life fixture, I would be at the game. I would be sitting in the RBB, and I would be losing my voice just like I am right now. But we're going to get into the A-League final. We win on penalties! Come on! Hatch misses a penalty. It's a 0-0 draw. But the Western Sydney Wanderers are A-League champions. Out of all the sporting teams I follow in football, in any other sport, this is one of the things I want to happen the most. Western Sydney Wanderers to win the A-League title. But now we've conquered Australia, we've conquered England, we've conquered Scotland, we've conquered the Netherlands. Let's go conquer the United States of America. Okay, so I've only just realized and remembered that the A-League and the MLS have conflicting calendars. So we're taking over FC Cincinnati, and we are already 7 games into the season. We're at the start of the season, 7 games in, 0 points. We have not won a single game. Okay, we have got a massive challenge on our hands if we want to continue this video. And the transfer window doesn't even open for another month, so I've got to withstand another 4 games before I can make any changes. But this is the team that we have to work with. We don't have a crazy budget, and there is not too many bright spots in the side. Acosta, Felipe, these are really the only half decent guys in the squad. We might have gone a little too deep here. We might have stuffed ourselves here. All right, we're going to get a nice little replacement for a goalkeeper. Tom Glover. I was wondering where he went to when we versed Melbourne City, because he's from Melbourne City in the A-League, but we have signed the Australian shot stopper, the best goalkeeper in the A-League, for just under £2 million from FC Dallas. And we're going to sell Tyler Blackett, the former Manchester United defender, signing with New York City FC. Caleb Stanko also out of the club, off to Nashville. I've been weighing this up for a few minutes now, but I have decided to pull the trigger on this transfer. There is no way that if we improve our average rating from 65 to 70, that we are any chance of getting the MLS title. So my thinking is, let's blow our budget on the best player in the MLS according to FIFA in this save. Ezequiel Barco, the Argentinian midfielder, is going to join us here from Atlanta, £32.3 million. This is an absolute Hail Mary, but it is just about the only option we have at this point. So this is what the team now looks like. I've got my training sessions in. We're slowly getting the morale and the sharpness of the team up to full scratch. Barco brings the average rating up so much, and I'm hoping that rubs off. What I'm trying to say essentially is Barco needs to carry us. You need to carry us, brother, otherwise we are done for. We have finished 10th, and we are out of the MLS. We have failed the challenge after 5 seasons, 5 clubs, and FC Cincinnati are our downfall. Lads, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. Let me know any other challenges you want me to do like this one. It has been JarradHD here. I'm out. Peace.